How's everyone doing? Today I have an awesome Criterion Collection Blu-ray update, 12 pickups. And if you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And there's a bunch in here that I haven't seen before. There's a guy that I've sold movies to. He's got a storefront and he also sells online, and I've traded with him before. I've actually bought a few things from him too, and this time I traded in a bunch of movies essentially for these Criterions, a bunch of movies that I really didn't plan to ever watch again. And that's the biggest thing. I'm always going through like an ebb and flow. I get a bunch of movies in, and there's a bunch of ones where I'm like, I'm probably never going to watch this again, so I don't really want to keep it in my collection. So I picked up a bunch of movies that I've wanted to see and wanted to have, and I plan to keep. I love Criterion Collection. They're one of my favorite companies out there releasing movies. They always do a great job with the transfers, with the special features, and I like a lot of the movies that they put out too. Back in the day, they used to be called Film School in a Box. I remember back way when I first got into collecting movies, I was like, what's Criterion Collection? They essentially put out a lot of masterpiece cinema and modern masterpieces as well. A lot of foreign, international, and it definitely introduced me to a lot of great films, so I'm very happy for that. But let's go ahead and get into it. First up, and these were all brand new too, so I was souped on that. I traded in a bunch of stuff that was like used, and you know, so you're not going to get the same trade value essentially, so I traded to several different things for, you know, each release depending on, but then there's a couple things where I traded basically straight up depending on the value. But again, if we go to like FYE or any of those places when you trade stuff in, the value, if for used stuff especially, just, you know, it's not really there too much. So, but overall, I'm very happy. You know, I traded, you know, a bunch of stuff for this, and like I said, I'm souped. First up is Boyhood. Let me know what your favorite Richard Linklater film is as well. This, to me, was very well done. This has actually been done before. They shot it over 12 years using the same actors, so it's kind of a coming of age, slice of life kind of story where you see the kids grow up and, you know, the family changes the dynamic, the parents get divorced and stuff like that. They've used that whole you know, following actors and characters for years like that before, but never quite like this, especially with this kind of cast and this director. And this has a new 2K transfer. It has a lot more special features than the previous Blu-ray release. Some great performances in here too. I'm always a big fan about Ethan Hawke, and I love when he works with Richard Linklater. And I really enjoyed Patricia Arquette as well. So, soup to add this to the collection. Next up is Mulholland Drive. Let me know what your favorite David Lynch movie is. David Lynch is one of those directors that makes films kind of for himself. There's a lot of things where you're like, it kind of doesn't make sense. What the heck is going on? I remember first seeing Eraserhead in film class like over a decade ago and just being blown away. And since then, I've been kind of hooked on his stuff. And actually, we watched a couple David Lynch films in that class, but Eraserhead was the one that really stuck out to me. But Mulholland Drive was another one that was just super mysterious, and you're not really sure a lot of things what's going on. But this has a new 4K transfer in here too. Some good special features. But yeah, again, I really enjoy what David Lynch does. Again, he's one of those directors who doesn't spoon feed you all the stuff. There's a lot of intrigue. It really makes you think as well, and usually his films stay on your mind long after viewing. Really like Naomi Watts in here too. Really kind of a trippy movie, and really enjoy the heck out of this, and can't wait to check out the 4K transfer on it. And I like these digipack designs. I know a lot of people aren't a fan of digipack designs, but I do. I dig the heck out of them. Next up is Rififi, one of the classic gangster heist movies ever. I remember they have there's the heist scene is, you know, 30 minutes long or something like that. So definitely happy. This is a new 2K transfer as well, restoration right here. So looking forward to revisiting that. I remember seeing this forever ago as well. It's been a long time. I just remember just some of the dramatics of it as well, and the way that it was shot. Almost kind of like a noir kind of style to it. Next up is Cat People, which I haven't seen, but I did see the remake with Natasha Kinski and Malcolm McDowell. This was the first horror film produced by Val Lewton, made for RKO Pictures. And they did a whole bunch of stuff together. Val Lewton, very well known, and this is one of the earlier creature features with a lot of intrigue and mystery. And basically, there's a, you know, kind of a story or, you know, kind of fairy tale of where she came from this small town that if she, I guess, has sex, she'll become a cat person, essentially. I remember seeing the remake, but I saw that when I was way younger, so I only vaguely remember that one. But I'm definitely looking forward to checking this one out. Again, new 2K digital restoration from 1942 on this one. Suit that they're putting out more horror releases. I'd love to see more horror from Criterion Collection. It's my favorite genre. There's so many different ones that could be released. It doesn't always have to be all about the gore. I like the ones that make you think as well. I'm a big, I love gore. I'm a gore hound too. But I also love the psychological elements and just ones that are kind of groundbreaking. There's been a lot of kind of transcendent horror movies in the past few years. Let the Right One In, It Follows. I think The Witch is one as well. The Babadook. There's been a ton. Like last year for me was like the year of horror. 2015 was one of the best years for horror since like the early 80s. Next up is A Brief History of Time. And this is directed by Earl Morris, basically about Stephen Hawking, kind of going over his work and his life. So I've always been intrigued by him and great minds as well. So this was from 1991. Can't wait to check this out. Next up is a nice box set right here. I was super to add a couple of these box sets to my collection. This is Andre, Gregory, and Wallace Shawn, 3 films. This is basically marking their collaboration. The first was My Dinner with Andre. And My Dinner with Andre actually has in the special feature My Dinner with Louis, which was a kind of a special feature on BBC in Atlantic City with Louis Mal. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to checking out the special features on all of these too. And then Vanya on 42nd Street and A Master Builder. So definitely looking forward to jumping in there with this box set, this beautiful set right here. And again, I haven't seen Vanya on 42nd Street or A Master Builder. I did see My Dinner with Andre a long time ago. I thought it was decently intriguing, especially to see them together like that. I like those kind of sit down where you can talk about everything going on. This one is La Ciénaga. I'm probably saying this incorrectly, but it's I guess a feature-length film debut from the director, and apparently it's a great director's Argentinian film. Lucrecia Martel is the director, and it's a new 4K transfer. It's basically just, I guess, about kind of a juxtaposition of the rich and the poor and dealing with the military and government in Argentina. So looking forward to checking that out. When I was younger, I was always fascinated with Argentina. I think I saw a poster where it was like the beach and some hot women. And I remember my best friend growing up, he was always like, "You're going to marry an Argentinian woman. I just know it." I don't know if that's going to be the case, but so I was always kind of fascinated with that and everything having to do with it. So of course they've gone through a lot of political turmoil. I think this is going to highlight some of this. This is from 2001. Next up is Clouds of Sils Maria. This has Kristen Stewart, Chloe Grace Moretz, and Juliette Binoche. And I know this is directed by Olivier Assayas. And is this, yeah, I'm trying to remember, yeah, Juliette Binoche. I think they worked together before as well. But yeah, this is apparently, Juliette Binoche made a play like 20, 30 years ago. I can't remember the exact thing. And she was playing the young girl, and now the roles are reversed. She's going to have a revival of the play, and Chloe Grace Moretz is playing her character, and she's playing the older character, and it's just kind of like the juxtaposition of those. And I guess they're just going over the lines, and I think Kristen Stewart is her assistant, so looking forward to that. Haven't seen that one before. This is actually one that I never even really heard of until semi-recently. Next up is Bitter Rice. This is an Italian film from 1949, and again, a new restoration on here, and it's basically about some criminals who hide out with some women who are working in the rice fields. So looking forward to that. It has Doris Dowling, kind of like a Bonnie and Clyde-esque kind of deal right there. Next up is Ace in the Hole. Again, a nice digipack design. Kirk Douglas right here. I guess this is another one where it kind of represents media and how they can influence people. And he's kind of like a washed-up reporter, kind of trying to exploit a tale about a guy in a cave, and things kind of get out of hand. And just kind of going over, again, even today, where how media can influence people and rile people up. This is from 1951. Again, new 2K transfer right here. And I love the special features. I'm always one of those people that checks out the special features if the film intrigues me. Sometimes I've even watched special features. I'm like, this is so bad. I want to see what was going on in here. There's a movie called, I think it was called Scarce. It was like I think a Canadian slasher film, kind of backwoods, but with a snowy setting. And I remember just thinking, wow, I did not care for the movie at all. I know a lot of people did, but the special features on there were amazing. Just showing kind of like the making of, the blood, sweat, and tears that went into it. It actually made me appreciate the film more. Not enough to say I like it, but I kept it just for the special features on there, the making of. It's just incredible, just showing what they did. So yeah, they always do a great job with special features on here, the booklets, everything about it, complete package, the packaging, the artwork, everything, fantastic from Criterion Collection. This is the Apu Trilogy. This is one I wanted to add to my collection for forever. So happy. It was always a little bit pricey. I was always debating about it, so souped on this one. This is basically just following the character of Apu from childhood into his adult stage over 3 films. And can't wait to check this one out. It starts from 1955 and goes to 59, 1955, 1956, and 1959 respectively. And this is directed by Satyajit Ray. Sorry about that. 4K, new 4K digital restorations of all 3 films. So souped. Can't wait to check those out. And again, nice box set right there. And I like the slim digipack kind of designs. Next up is Make Way for Tomorrow. This is a film from 1937 about an elderly couple. Their house is getting foreclosed on, and they kind of move in with their young children. This is an inspiration for Tokyo Story as well, so that makes me want to check it out even more. So there you go. There are my Criterion Collection pickups. If you've seen any of these movies, definitely let me know what you think of them. And let me know what Criterion Collection releases you would recommend me to pick up as well. I'm always looking forward to checking out more movies, especially for Criterion Collection. Again, I love what they do as a company. So I'm souped on these. I was happy to get rid of some movies I wouldn't watch again for some great releases that I'm excited to check out and add to my collection. So, and let me know which was your favorites of this pickup as well. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care.